don't even have a minimum age requirement to operate one.
Now, that's a nightmare. That's probably our worst nightmare is the kids on it.
And it doesn't take much to rent a machine. Scott Fromer can't keep enough around.
If the customer shows up with a driver's license and a credit card in the same name and they're of the legal age, anybody can rent.
Sales of jet skis are skyrocketing and injuries are piling up. Still, the industry argues it's not the jet ski that is unsafe, but the driver, which is why most believe unless there is more driver education, this nautical nightmare will only get worse. Art Rascone, CBS News, Miami.
So you finally got all the stuff that'll put you on the superhighway, turn your kids into rocket scientists, and organize your so-called life. But who the heck's going to organize the stuff? No one puts the home in home office like Ethan Allen. The summer sale ends this weekend.
Do your hearing aids work the way you want them to? If not, don't miss Belltone's free repair days. Right now, we'll fix most makes and models of hearing aids free. Belltone's free repair days. Come in today and see why millions have made Belltone their #1 choice for hearing care.
You know, meat's a dog's natural food. Meat's what they love. So that's why I feed mine Pedigree, the #1 meat dog food in America. It's 100% complete and balanced and keeps them in great shape.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
I love things that sparkle. I like complicated things. I crave sweet things.
Something heavenly.
I go for sensation.
We may be different, but we're all equal.
Moen's pull-out faucet. Few things in life can outmaneuver or outlast it. The One Touch by Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
Anxiety? Anxiety is believing I'd never get my waist back after having twins. I'm not getting rid of a few gray hairs. With Clairol's Loving Care, there's no risk. It's got no ammonia, no peroxide, and gently washes out in 6 to 12 shampoos. You get your own beautiful color back, minus the gray. Full-time motherhood and a full-time career, that's a commitment. Loving Care? It's just a little box of hair color. Loving Care from Clairol. You have nothing to lose but the gray. And for longer-lasting gray coverage, try Lasting Color by Loving Care. When painful gas makes me feel like this, I take a little pill that looks like this.
Gas X Soft Gels. As much gas medicine as this much Mylanta. Concentrated for fast relief. Try extra strength Gas X Soft Gels.
A shot rang out. Now this boy is dead. Who is guilty in the fatal encounter? You decide. The latest in a 48 Hours mystery. Wednesday.
Grades are in for the Scholastic Aptitude Test, the college entrance exam taken by more than 1 million members of the high school class of '97. Math scores were up for the 6th year in a row to an average 511. Analysts attribute the improvement to students taking tougher math courses. SAT verbal scores held steady at 505, far below the record 543 for the baby boom class of '67. Experts say students are taking less English and more Speak It as a second language. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know any day on board the space station Mir without major problems is a good day. So today was a good day. The crew fixed their failing oxygen generators. This left the wife of Michael Foale, the only American on Mir, breathing easier in Texas yet again. Diana Olick has her story.
Each Mir malfunction makes international news, and then the grand old space station floats off our radar screen. But one woman watches the sky like a hawk, knowing this foreign-run craft carries precious cargo, her husband.
It did worry me at first. I didn't know, how the Russians felt exactly, whether they would put the spacecraft above their lives or what. But
in a rare and candid interview with CBS affiliate KHOU, Rhonda Foale, a former NASA engineer on the space shuttles, says she prepared herself for everything.
Whenever the problems happen, like the flight surgeon calls me from Moscow and tells me, they've had this problem, but they're okay. So I haven't ever really been real upset or panicky.
But she openly admits her husband's mission is less the greater glory of science and more diplomacy.
The biggest reason we're in this is for political reasons. They're still doing some science up there, but the great thing that's happening now is that Mike has really been included as a real Russian cosmonaut, not just, a guest scientists.
Each mere malfunction, and there is one about every 3 days, is, she says, a test of the two cultures' ability to work together. She and her husband believe that is the future of the International Space Program, especially as Mir's difficulties force NASA to reevaluate its dedication to the aging station.
I separate the science mission from the reason for being here. I believe the reason why America is working with Russia is to further the international relations and cooperation, to bring Russia into the fold of the Western commercial sector, and to allow us to work together.
Michael Foale is expected home in October. Rhonda says she's not counting the days. She calmly expects something else will break down and force a delay. Diana Olick, CBS News, Dallas.
The government announced today that 60 safety inspectors had begun an intensive round-the-clock investigation of the Union Pacific Railroad. This follows a series of deadly accidents, including the head-on collision of 2 freight trains that killed 4 people in Texas. Federal regulators say Union Pacific has, quote, critical safety deficiencies.
My father's halfway between house painter and Rembrandt, with the hours above. So when the back pain started, he'd never stop. Out came the Tylenol. Well, a few hours later, more pain, more pills. Finally said enough. Doctor said try Aleve.
2 Aleve are so strong I could go all day. I was up to 4 Advil or 8 extra-strength Tylenol.
He tries Aleve. What do you know? My old man's a new man.
Hey, it's supposed to be on ride.
Aleve. All day strong, all day long.
Glamorous Hollywood? Not to me. For me, it's long hours and strange locations. Can't get slowed down by irregularity. My doctor says exercise, eat right. But sometimes a meal is whatever you can grab between takes. My doctor suggested Metamucil, the only leading brand with 100% natural fiber, like the fiber in healthy foods. Keeps me regular, gently, so I can give my usual award-winning performance.
Metamucil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
Aren't there enough reasons in your life to talk to your doctor about Zocor? Call 1-800-MERC-75 for your free Zocor guide to healthy living. Zocor, be there.
Okay, guys, going out for lunch. You know the rules.
Hey, sweeties, you being good? Better be, or no doggy bags for you.
Oh, and Scooter, get off the counter.
Ericsson mobile phones. That's the power of voice.
Pets are so much trouble. Oh, not my little angels.
In tonight's Eye on America, an update on a remarkable and radical experimental procedure to fix a potentially fatal heart problem without a heart transplant. Even more remarkable, the technique was pioneered under primitive conditions at a jungle clinic in Brazil. It can, in some cases, transform an enlarged and failing heart into a lean, mean pumping machine. Now it's being tested in this country, and here's the living proof. Lester O'Donnell might have died by now if it weren't for a radical and controversial new heart operation.
They told me that the portion of my heart that was removed was about the size of a softball, which was about this size.
Lester suffered from a condition in which the heart becomes enlarged, sometimes to twice its normal size, and can't efficiently pump blood. Until now, the ultimate treatment for the condition has been a heart transplant. But the waiting lists for transplants are long, and many people die before a donor heart becomes available.
You have to think of alternatives.
Brazilian surgeon Dr. Rondes Batista is encouraging American doctors to adopt the procedure he developed in the jungle town of Campina Grande. There, transplants weren't even an option. So he took the bold step of treating an enlarged heart by cutting a piece of it out and making it smaller.
Once you don't have any option, you'll do it. You have nothing to lose. The patient has nothing to lose. Anything, even if it's crazy, the patient is dead anyway.
In the procedure, the diameter of the heart is reduced by cutting out a portion of the left ventricle, which pumps blood to the body. Batista theorized with less tissue to move, the heart should become more efficient. The American medical establishment rejected the idea.
Did doctors look upon you as crazy? Yeah. Oh, yeah, very much.
One of those initial skeptics was Dr. Tomas Salerno. Recently, he worked side by side with Dr. Batista during a heart reduction procedure. Salerno remembers the first time he saw what is now called the Batista operation.
When I saw this, actually, there were no words to describe because I did not believe the patient was going to survive the operation.
The operation does seem to go against all accepted medical principles.
Okay, hi.
But American doctors are becoming converts.
My feeling is that this is truly beneficial to patients who otherwise wouldn't have any hope.
And it's not just Dr. Salerno who believes that. Prestigious institutions like the Cleveland Clinic and Texas Heart Institute are also performing the procedure. Lester O'Donnell thinks his case is almost a miracle.
I feel super. I feel super. I do everything I was doing prior to the operation, except contact sports.
Others aren't so fortunate. Of Dr. Batista's Brazilian patients, 40% died within 2 years. So far, the American experience is better. 80 to 85% survive. Without the operation, most patients had only a few months to live. Batista says knowing exactly who will respond best to the operation is difficult, but people with extremely large hearts seem to get the most benefit. And Batista believes it could go a long way toward easing pressure on transplant lists and prolonging lives.
Out of 100 patients, only 1% will get a heart transplantation. So what are we going to do with the other 99%? There's nothing.
Even though about 200 people have had the procedure in this country, it is still considered experimental. Its future will depend on how well those people do. And that's the CBS Evening News. For Dan Rather, I'm John Roberts, CBS News in New York. Thanks for being with us. Good night.
CBS News.
Next from the News Center, California authorities make an arrest in the abduction of a Eugene area forest worker.
And if camping in the woods isn't for you this Labor Day weekend, now is a good time to run away to the urban jungle.
And we'll also have a story for you on that a little bit later, so stay with us. News Center 6 is next.
You're watching KOIN TV, Channel 6. The news for Portland, Vancouver, and the Pacific Northwest. This is News Center 6 at 6.
Police make an arrest in the abduction of a Eugene area forest worker.
And we'll have an alternative for you if you are thinking about not going camping this Labor Day weekend. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Shirley Hancock has the day off. I'm Cam Johnson.
Just over an hour ago, California authorities arrested a man wanted for the kidnapping of a U.S. Forest Service worker. 20-year-old Teresa Garcia disappeared from the Willamette National Forest Friday afternoon. She was found wandering in the southern Oregon town of Merrill, south of Klamath Falls, near the California border, last night. Eric Schmidt was the first to break this new development at 5. Eric, can you tell us now more about the arrest?
Yeah, we can, Mike. The suspect has been identified as 43-year-old Stephen Richard Doyle of Benicia, California. A Siskiyou, California County Sheriff's deputy spotted Doyle's motor home in the Medicine Lake area early this afternoon. A short time later, at a roadblock, Doyle surrendered peacefully. The description of his motor home was provided by Teresa Garcia last night. The seasonal Forest Service employee was found wandering along a county road in Merrill by Diane Patterson and her children. Garcia had been the object of an intensive search effort since she was reported missing Friday afternoon near the Blue River Ranger Station. The woman who found Garcia did not want to appear on camera, but said the young woman told her she'd been dropped off by her abductor.
And I asked her if she needed anything, was she okay? And she said, no, I'm not okay. I said, do you need anything? I said, well, I live right here. We'll go to my house. We'll call. And we called police first, and then she called home, called her boyfriend. She was very shaken, very scratched and bruised, very disoriented.
Teresa Garcia was taken to a local hospital where she was treated and released early this morning. She is said to be in good physical condition and her complete description of her abductor and his vehicle, including a license plate number, led to the arrest of Stephen Doyle this afternoon. Doyle is now in a Wairika jail cell charged with kidnapping, aggravated assault, and assault on a federal employee. Mike Teresa Garcia is in Eugene with her family tonight.
With all that information she gave authorities, it was hard to hide.
It was hard for him to hide, and you have to wonder what he was thinking of.
Yeah, thank you,
Hopefully,
Eric.
thankfully, she's alive.
Yeah, we're sure glad of that. Eric Schmidt reporting.
How would you feel if you and your family left the state fair in Salem after having a wonderful day, only to find someone had towed your car, which you thought was parked legally, and you'd have to pay more than $185 to get it back? The News Center's David Okarski reports that you might be as angry as the fair's business manager, who's had to pay cash to get more than one car out of impound. David, I understand the Attorney General's office is talking with the lot owner.
That's right. More specifically, it's the State Consumer Fraud Division of the Justice Department that's talking with them. This is the parking lot in question over here, right across the street from the state fairgrounds. That meeting is still going on. As far as we know, we don't know the outcome, only that managers and patrons of the fair are crying foul.
And it was a family. They had 4 kids, and the mother was expecting another one. And they was tired. You know, they'd been at the fair all day. They had a good day. And this turned out to be a bad.
When he heard about the first family whose car had been towed, Oregon State Fair business manager John Vaughn thought it was a single unfortunate incident.
My first thoughts were that this is a private matter, and that, well, one, we have some customers that are in trouble, and two, how are we going to deal with this when it's maybe off the fairground?
Vaughn soon found that there were more families stranded, their cars towed and impounded.
These people had tried to pay for parking, but there was nobody there to pay. And in one instance, there was a sign up that said parking is $3, but the lot was unattended. And in another instance, there was no sign and no person.
Vaughn paid cash to get several cars out of the impound. The Attorney General's office says the lot and towing companies are owned by Gary Dental. Vaughn says when he talked to Dental on the phone, he at first denied owning the vacant lot.
Mr. Dental said he's just operating a towing business and towing cars at the request of the parking lot.
But then he hinted that he owned it.
His tone